Hi, and welcome back to Live Your Best Life podcast. And today I'm recording this from my hotel room. I've just been competing in Poland at the Masters European Indoor Athletics Championships. And if you would like to hear more about my travels or my athletic pursuits and my fitness stuff, please head over to my social media because that's where I post up more about that sort of thing. All the details of how to find me are in my show notes. So this podcast is a pick and mix of things we can do to live our best life. And today's topic is actually something I've been doing over this last week while I've been competing. So I wanted to share that with you. So the last few episodes, we've been talking about your thoughts, identity, focus, goals, what we want to do and who we want to become. But there's something else really important that we haven't touched on yet, and that's our health and our body. We only get one body to live in for our entire lives, so we really should try and take care of it. Because we can have the best mindset in the world, but if our body is constantly stressed and overwhelmed, it can become very hard to really enjoy our best life. So this is a pick and mix style podcast, so you can connect with the episodes that resonate and take what's helpful. And if you're dealing with inflammation, injuries, aches and pains, then this episode really is for you. So we're talking about grounding, or sometimes it's called earthing. And this is the practice of reconnecting your body to the earth. Now, why would we do this? Well, there's a lot of science behind grounding's ability to reduce stress, improve our sleep, support our nervous system, and reduce inflammation. And there is a lot of research on this. It's not just some kind of old wives' tale or woo-woo healing, alternative healing. It is a real thing. Now, the research is still developing, but we know that slowing down, reconnecting with the earth can have a really powerful effect on our well-being. So how does grounding actually work? Well, physically, there is the theory that connecting with the earth can help balance the electrical currents of our body. When the body is in direct contact with the earth, an ion exchange happens between the body and the earth's surface. The earth acts as a massive reservoir of negative ions or electrons, and when a conductive pathway is established, the earth's negative ions move into the body and neutralize the free radicals in our body, balancing the electrical potential with the ground. So earthing is a natural antioxidant. Now, we've been told for years to take our vitamins, to get our antioxidants, to neutralize free radicals that can cause aging and inflammation. So this is actually a free way of doing this, where we absorb it through our skin rather than taking it as a tablet. So when you're walking barefoot on the soil, the grass, the sand, any natural surface, even concrete works, or you can use an earthing mat. Your body, that often has a positive charge, can interact with the earth's negative charge, balancing the electrical environment of the body out. So this shifts your nervous system into a calmer state, reduces inflammation and improves blood flow. So this can really help with healing injuries or reducing inflammation. So this shift from the body from stress mode into a state of rest and repair. So I wanted to share with you an example of how I discovered earthing and what it's done for me. So a few years ago, I started to develop pain in my shoulder, which got gradually worse and worse until it completely locked up. And then I discovered I'd actually got a frozen shoulder. Now, this can happen to anybody, but the two biggest groups of people who get frozen shoulders are people with diabetes and women in their 40s. And it's actually a really common but little known first symptom of perimenopause. So when a woman's estrogen starts to drop, the body becomes much more inflamed, and the shoulder is one of the first joints it seems to affect. So I was told at the time by my consultant that the only thing that was going to release this joint was surgery, or I'd have to face between 2 and 5 years waiting for the joint to thaw. And I was told there really was no other option. So at this point, I really started to do my own research because I just couldn't accept that surgery was my only option or waiting with basically no use of one arm for a very long time. And that's where I came across the theory of earthing. And I had nothing to lose, so I decided to go out and try it. So for 2 weeks, every day for 20 minutes, and bearing in mind this was January and it was snowing, I went out and sat with my feet on the grass for 20 minutes. And after 2 weeks, I can honestly say that this pain had really started to reduce, and it reduced so much that I was then able to go and start having massage therapy to start to release the shoulder. Now, up until this point, nothing had worked. I'd been struggling with it for months, and I can honestly say it's the only thing that helped. So since then, I continued to do grounding. Now, I was doing it the free way, having just going outside with my feet on the grass. I have also experimented with getting earthing shoes. I also have a sleeping sheet that goes over my mattress, which helps earthing while you're asleep. But you don't need any of these things. You can just do it the free way. But it does make it a little bit easier to get grounding in every day because actually during your everyday life, it can actually be a real difficulty trying to find the time and space to go and actually get your feet out on the ground. So, like I say, there's loads of research on this. If you go on the website PubMed, where all the medical research is distributed, you can see hundreds of studies that have been done on this. So it's not widely accepted, but I think it's basically because no one can make money off of it. I'm not a doctor, I'm not here to give medical advice, but if you've got symptoms of inflammation, this is something you don't need to take my word for it. You can easily look it up online. If you go on PubMed, you're going to find the research and you can really look into it yourself. So last week I was competing in athletics, which is something I've not done for a few years. And I'd got several races over the space of a week. And normally, when I haven't really been on the track and I haven't been on any real track work before this event, normally my legs would get really sore just from the impact on the track from racing several days in a row. So I decided that I would make a conscious effort to do some grounding every day. And I can tell you, I went the whole week competing. I did 4 races and no soreness whatsoever. So it was just a real reminder to me that it's quite powerful. So I know my body, and I know that normally this kind of activity would make me sore. So it definitely works for me. So if your body is in a state of stress, maybe in survival mode, maybe your nervous system's fired up, you've got some injuries, inflammation or pain, this is something that you could just try and see if it works for you. So how do we do it? First off, you can do it for free. All you need to do is step outside and get your feet on the grass or the sand or concrete. You can also, you don't have to go walking, you can just sit down with your feet on the floor, or you could lie down, get your hands on the floor. You basically need your skin in contact with the ground, so you have to take your shoes and socks off. You could go into the forest and hug a tree. You could, because trees have deep roots going into the earth, so you can definitely earth from just touching anything from the natural world. I also think this is why people love being around animals, because we are the only animal on the planet that disconnects ourselves from the earth using synthetic shoes. So our dogs and cats, our pets, they're in contact with the ground all the time. So they are earthing all the time. And I think this is one of the reasons why we just love to pets are animals. Um, so, how often do we need to do this? Well, consistency is key. If you can do 10 to 20 minutes a day, you'll I think you'll start to see a difference. I know I did. I did intensively 20 minutes a day when I really needed it, and then I'll maybe do 10 minutes as many days as I can. I don't get to do it every day, but as many times as possible. Um, and the consistency is what's key about this. And this is why it can be really helpful to get the grounding mats or the sheets to put on your bed so that you can get this consistent grounding in every day, because the more you do it, the more your body can benefit from it. But you don't have to spend any money on anything. You can just put your feet on the floor. So there's a popular documentary on this topic. It's called The Earthing Movie, and this explores the theories behind grounding. So if you would like to know more about this, please don't just take my word for it. I'm not a medical expert. I'm just sharing with you something that I have found personally has really helped me. And I just would love more people to know about it. So grounding, it's something very simple. You don't really need to overthink it. It's very powerful. And if you've tried it before, or if you're going to give it a try, please drop me a message or a comment or contact me on my social media, because I would love to hear other people's experiences of trying earthing. Um, so I hope you found this episode helpful. It's it's one of my favourite subjects. I talk about this a lot. So do give it a try. Do the research. It's really easy to look it up online. Please don't just take my word for it. Go and do some research yourself. Give it a try and let me know what you think. In the meantime, have a wonderful week. I'll be back here next week with another topic that I'm really passionate about that I just can't wait to share with you. Have a wonderful week and see you next time.